Welcome to CityView. I'm your host, Leslie Sopko. In this episode, Austin Energy unveils a plan for hands-on solar outdoor learning centers. Plus, we'll take you to a rather interesting and unexpected World Championship playoff held right here in Austin. But first, the city will be accepting applications between June and July for the second annual CityWorks Academy. This very successful program offers evening classes for Austin residents who want to learn more about how city departments do their jobs. The classes are taught by high-level city staff starting in September and running through November, and include tours of an interesting variety of city facilities. To apply for CityWorks, visit cityofaustin.org/cityworks. Last year, CityWorks received 300 applications, but only has space for around 30 students. In other education news, Austin Energy and the Austin Independent School District are teaming up to build as many as 21 solar outdoor learning centers at mostly middle and high schools. These learning centers will have fully functional solar systems and will offer a more hands-on approach to teach students about solar energy as well as other science curriculum. Congressman Lloyd Doggett joined city officials for a news conference to announce a grant from the U.S. Department of Energy that will help make all of this possible.
We're celebrating a generous donation from the Department of Energy in the form of a grant to expand our highly successful Solar for Schools program.
Solar energy and energy in general is just vital to so many sectors of our lives, both from an economic perspective and revitalizing the economy, and also to reach our environmental goals.
There's a whole lot of people that don't even know you can make electricity from solar collecting devices. You can fix that problem by starting in education. And one of the best ways to educate adults is by teaching children. Just like we learned the recycling from our kids, and we learned how to program our VCRs and other devices from our kids, we know that if we provide children with education about solar energy, they can help teach their parents. But more importantly, we can start preparing them for the jobs that will be their future. And that's really, really important.
I think students coming out need to be smarter about how to be consumers of energy, but also be in the workforce for clean energy. So the Austin program here is doing both.
I think it's really great. I think I would like maybe perhaps our class to do some things out there and just go take a look at it. I think it's really important for students to see what's happening. I think it's a great opportunity, and it's really good for the school too. Clean energy, so.
This was fantastic. To get the support of our congressman, our mayor, another member of council. These are serious people in the city, and they're taking time out of their busy day to come celebrate Solar for Schools. That speaks volumes.
Austin Energy was designated a Solar America City by the U.S. Department of Energy in 2008 for its commitment and success in increasing the installation of solar in our community. Our best practices will be shared with other cities all across the country. The City of Austin has always made support of military employees and their families a priority. In fact, the city has a dedicated military ombudsman who works with retired and active duty military employees to make sure they receive proper benefits and training both before and after their deployments. Here's one employee's experience working for the city while serving in the military.
It's been an 8-month-long academy. It's been a long road and a grueling road, but I've finally made it. Today's graduation day. Tomorrow I'll be deploying. They've been very helpful in communicating with the Coast Guard and making sure that I finish this academy before the deployment, which was very important to myself and my family.
These folks are heroes. They're heroes because they're public servants as police officers here in the city of Austin. They're heroes because these men and women do double duty for their nation here in Austin and across the world in the National Guard and Reserves.
Keeping communication with me while I'm deployed, and the benefits they have alone are outstanding. I've never seen any other city in the country that can compare.
What I did in 2007 with my team is we put together a reintegration program for our military vets, so when they come back from extended leave, We make sure that we give them updated training. We make sure that we touch base with them, make sure there's no issues that they need help with. And while they're gone, we always check up on their families. We always let them know that they may be gone, but their families remain behind with their extended Austin Police Department family.
I know when I come back I don't have anything to worry about because they'll be here and they're going to take care of my family when I'm gone.
In 2008, the City of Austin received a Secretary of Defense Freedom Award for its ongoing efforts to provide an easy transition for employees serving in the military. To hear additional testimonials from employees, visit the City of Austin's YouTube page. And now it's time for our City Council update from Larry Schooler.
He's on the road again, literally. Willie Nelson's name will grace 2nd Street from Trinity to San Antonio after City Council approved the honorary name change. Nelson has lived in the Austin area for nearly 40 years and sold more than 50 million records. Meanwhile, Austinites less fortunate than Willie Nelson are getting a boost. Council approved amendments to utility service regulations to protect medically vulnerable utility customers. Those amendments redefine and expand the identification of customers who would be protected from suddenly losing their utility services in times of extreme cold or heat. Users of the Lady Bird Lake Trail are also getting a boost. Council approved a contract for more lighting along the trail. You'll soon see 18 new lights at 8 additional locations along the trail. 15 lights currently sit at 3 locations. Council also approved more than $1.5 million for the Holly Good Neighbor program. The funds are designed to expedite home repairs for 60 eligible clients. The Holly Good Neighbor program is designed to help low and moderate income residents near the old Holly power plant with home repairs and rehabilitation. In all, Council considered 99 items at its May 27th meeting. Its next regularly scheduled meeting is June 10th. For CityView, I'm Larry Schooler.
The Austin History Center is home to a new exhibit titled Relief, Recovery, and Progress, the Great Depression and the New Deal in Austin. You will see old photographs and historic documents that offer a glimpse into how Austinites survived the Great Depression in the 1930s. Take a look.
This exhibit is about the Great Depression and New Deal in Austin. It looks at the economic climate, what happened in the 1930s with an eye towards what's happening today in Austin. The recession, the current economic recession that we are facing has many similarities to the Great Depression of the 1930s.
This exhibit right here is about the Great Depression. That's an era that a lot of us don't really remember and don't really know the history. We may know national history of kind of what happened from history books, but we don't really know what really happened in Austin, what parks were built, what bridges were built, how the New Deal programs helped funding for a lot of the things we take for granted today.
This exhibit includes numerous photographs from the period, historic city documents and other documents from the period. We have recordings of people who lived through the Depression in Austin in the 1930s sharing their stories. We have a video of dramatic readings from the Travis County slave narratives.
I think anytime you can learn about your history, it's good, you know, because I think it helps everybody to like really feel a part of the community, really feel like they have a stake in it, really feel like there were people just like them, 50, 60, 70 years ago that were having kind of, the same struggles or even harder struggles to kind of build the city that they enjoy and love.
The free exhibit runs through July 11th at the Austin History Center, which is located at 9th and Guadalupe. May is National Bike Month, and the City of Austin has been doing its part to help make biking more attractive. The city recently hosted an event called Bike to Work Day, which included breakfast and afternoon snack stations at 20 different locations around town. Austin City Hall was one of those, and it turned out to be a hot spot for the day's event.
Today's Bike to Work Day, and there are 20 stations across the city where people who bike to the station get a free breakfast.
We're here today at the City Hall's breakfast station for Bike to Work Day. We've got a bunch of great donated food from Joe's Coffee, Whole Foods, and Taco Deli. So we're feeding all the riders that are coming through town, stopping off at City Hall for a little bit of breakfast nourishment.
Bike to Work Day is just kind of one part of the incentive package for the whole month. It's always the third Friday of the month of May, and we start off doing kind of a bunch of things that bring the community together, and one of the biggest things is the commuter challenge, and this kind of is nearing the end of the commuter challenge, but the commuter challenge lets people track how many trips they make, and kind of encourages people to get out and ride their bike more.
As a part of our climate protection plan, a lot of departments have emphasized commuting and bicycle commuting as a part of a way to get their employees to participate and help with our overall goals for climate protection.
Cycling becomes its own reward, especially cycling as commuting, as a way to get around. And once someone is in that mode, they don't need incentive, and they don't need rewards. But the city setting up like a bike to work day, something like that, can give people that sort of initial incentive to get out and realize that they can get around on their bike, and that's good.
Well, we saved our weirdest story for last. Austin fully embraced the slogan, Keep Austin Weird, by hosting the 33rd and a third annual O. Henry Pun Off World Championships. The event attracts punsters from around the world to compete for the title of Punniest of Show.
This is the O. Henry Pun Off. It is the World Championships. It is the only one of its kind. Basically, you have two categories. One is Punniest of Show, where speakers get a 90-second monologue, or dialogue if there's two, to present a whole bunch of puns.
The Punniest of Show is a timed event. It's judged by a panel of judges on a rating of 1 to 10. They rate it on originality, presentation, audience reaction, how cute you are. That's a scale of 1 to 10, so it's the most number out of 40 points.
We did a pair skit together, Justin and I.
The part of our skit is I did all my puns in meat and she did all hers in vegetables. She was breaking up with me, and then at the end of it I proposed to her.
I'm artichoking up!
That's right, Papa brought home the bacon.
And there's pun slingers, in which two people battle back and forth, throwing puns at one another until they can pun no more. I got second place today. It came down to a four-way tie for second. So what they do in the pun off is they have a clap off. So we all presented 20-second pieces of our skits, and then the audience clapped for us, and they judged based on who got the most applause, who came in what place.
We come to the pun off just because it's kind of a tradition. It's one of the main things that I like to do during the year. I don't feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do in Austin if I don't come to these kind of things. So
We're always going to come back. It's what I married into, which is great.
I missed one last year because we were getting married. So,
My favorite pun today was the couple that won. It was a really great performance, but they did a really good job. What about you?
I thought it was really clever. They both had, one was punning on meat, the other was punning on vegetarian. So yeah, I thought it was awesome.
That's really cool. I mean, not many people come out for puns. I mean, Austin's one of those only places where you actually have a pun competition. Puns are pretty nerdy, so to actually make a competition of it is pretty awesome.
The entire competition is available online at cityofaustin.org/channel6. And that's it for this edition of CityView. I'm your host, Leslie Sopko. Join us for our next episode, which premieres Friday, June 11th. And thanks for watching.